Hi, this is Stephen Brower from Art Valley Community College. This is for CSIT 105, Foundations of Computer Science. This video can be used for one of two reasons. One is to peek at your computer, or look at a couple ways to peek to see if the Java development kit, the JDK, is already there and what version it is. And the other thing is two things to look for, a couple things to look for if you do the installation, just to see that it did in fact take place. Okay, so for one thing, I'm going to hit the Windows icon on the keyboard, and I'm going to start just typing programs for add or remove programs. And oops, let's bring this into view. Sorry. Okay, and what I'm trying to do is do a smaller resolution. Okay, so add remove programs under J. So for Java, there's this SE Development Kit 14.0.2 64-bit. And so in short, this would be known as the JDK. So Java Development Kit JDK 14.0.2. In terms of editions, the two main editions are the Standard Edition and the Enterprise Edition. The Standard Edition is sufficient for what we are going to be using. So if you're thinking of installing JDK, you want to go and peek to see what you already have. You actually could have multiple versions of the JDK, and you also could have the runtime environment. So you may just see plain old Java by itself, or the Java runtime environment, and that's for running Java. Okay, so one thing just to look for is to see, do you have Java already installed, and if so, what version is it? I'm going to bring up File Manager, and okay, I'll also move it into view. Sorry. And I want to go into local disk, program files. Now the difference between these two of these, program files would be 64-bit, x86 would be 32-bit. And if I take a look here, we do have a Java folder, and I'm going to look inside that folder. Now this is where we could have multiple folders if we have multiple JDKs, multiple runtime environments. I only have one folder, so JDK for the Java Development Kit 14.0.2, that's the version that I have. Again, so whether it's pre-install or post-install, it's just a way to see what do you have. What I want to do, giggles and grins, is let me drill into the bin for binary, jump to the J's. I just hit the letter J on the keyboard, and so I'll point out a couple of things. So the Java C.exe, that's the actual compiler. A compiler is a program that takes source code and puts it into an executable form. A true compiler produces an exe file which is executed. Java's not a true compiler. It's going to create bytecodes. But anyway, the Java C is the thing that will compile our Java programs. Java.exe, that's the runtime environment, also known as the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine. It's what's going to be interpreting the bytecodes that we have. By the way, the stuff I'm going through quickly here is covered in Chapter 1. I'm just focusing on the files. So we need Java C, we need Java. The other file that's here that I want to point out, Java Doc. That stands for, it's for Java documentation. When we get to Chapter 3, we're going to see that there's a way that we can write our comments so that we can make documentation be generated out of the comments that we write. And we do have to write our comments in a certain format. Since we are also going to be using NetBeans later, we'll see the NetBeans has some help that it can give us, which really kind of do a lot of the work for us. It'll give us the shell is what it will give us. Okay, so what I wanted to do just in this video was to show under Add Remove Programs that the version of Java that was there. I wanted to peek at the hard drive just so we could see. So C, program files, Java, JDK, 14.0.2, and then within the bin, the Java C, the Java, and the Java doc. So there's going to be another video that will go through installation of it. There'll be another set of videos that are going to go through NetBeans. This is just focusing on this one aspect of the JDK. Again, it's either pre-install to see what you have, post-install, see that you got what you wanted. Does this make sense? I hope so.